is Mr. Rio again, and I'm just going to do a little intro here, a little mini tutorial, so to speak, to help you with the CNET assignment, since many of you may be new at some of this here, and especially for my online-only computer literacy class. If you go to classwork for week 2, and by the way, I'm not finished putting everything up here for the week 2 assignments yet, so if you watching this tutorial and say, hey, that's only a few things there's going to be some more added by tomorrow. But either way, there's an assignment here called a CNET assignment. CNET is a popular website for technology news and information and reviews and how-tos and all kinds of great information for computers, video games, television, smartphones, and the list goes on and on. So directions is that you will be learning about technology news sites, reviews, and discuss tech topics and products in the news. We're going to start with CNET here, which is highly respected for tech news and reviews and how-tos and so forth. You're going to use a Google Doc to do this assignment. So open Google Docs in one window and CNET website in another. It's probably the best way to do it. Some of you may prefer tabs, but I'm going to do it in 2 different windows. If you got a big monitor, you can have them side by side. If you got a smaller monitor, I'll show you a little trick here because I'm on a laptop, so I can click between them fairly easily. And then while you're going through the CNET assignment, type them later in Google Docs, or you can go through it and handwrite your answers and type it up later in Google Docs, or you can just go straight to Google Docs while you're doing the assignment. And it's got the link here to the CNET. When we're going to click here, that opens up CNET in a new window. Now in this case, it did a new tab. So if I want this tab, I'm in Chrome. If you want this tab off of here so I can look at them both at once, you can literally click in the middle of the tab and just pull it. Okay? Another thing I could have done simply was go to File, New Window, type in CNET myself. Actually, I think if I just put in CNET, that's good enough, and CNET.com. So CNET is a really good website for tech news and information, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. You're going to need to open up get the PDF, which has the questions and the information you're going to need, so you're going to have to download that. And what I'm going to do here, well, I guess I could open it up here. I'll open it up here in a window so you can see that there. Okay, this is one way to do it. I actually have the PDF on my computer, but I'll do it this way just to show you this. It's got the directions to the assignment, which are also posted with the link there. And then it's got the questions. And then it's got, they're numbered 1 through 10. There's actually a 10 down here. And you don't have to put the question itself on your assignment. You just have to put your answers. So some answers are going to be just lists. Some answers are going to be paragraphs or sentences. So you just have to read the directions there. So I'm going to leave this open here so I can see my questions over here. And I'm going to click there. This is CNET itself. And now I need a Google Doc to write in. So I'm going to go to File again and open a new window. Now when I open a new window, I have mine defaulted to Google. So it takes me straight to Google. I'm logged in here to my school Google account. So I can just click the waffle there next to there and find my Google Docs right here. Okay. Now when I find my Google Docs, I'm going to create a new one if I haven't already started this assignment. And it comes up here. I'm going to put CNET, CompLit. I'll put my name on there, but put some meaningful name so you can easily find it when you go to submit it. And give it a meaningful name at the top. CNET assignment would be great. Put your name. I put Mr. Rio for my name. By default, in Google Docs, you have Arial probably for your font. That's what mine is. 11 point, black text. You got margins and everything already on here. Usually that's just fine to start. You can always edit it later if you want to make the title bigger and so forth. Then underneath that, put a 1 for the first one, and then as you continue on, you can number the other ones. Yeah, you don't have to hit save or anything. Google Doc. We're in this assignment, you may not realize, but we're doing kind of two things at once. We're getting used to Google Docs, which we've already, yeah, I'm sure you've already used, most if not all of you. And we're also, so we're talking about the Google Apps for Education. We're using Google Slides. We're using Google Docs. We'll be talking more about that this week. And you're doing an assignment, learning about CNET. So when you got multiple windows open in a small screen area to work in, you can just kind of overlap them a little bit here. So you can see all of them at once. See how I did this? So I can see any of them. Whoops. Can almost see any of them. Maybe I should do something like that. Okay, so if I want to click between them, I can do something like that. Okay. So let's take a look here at the first question. It says make sure your name and CNET assignment are at the top. Did that? Okay. And now we're going to continue. For number 1, list 5 categories under best products. So if you go to the CNET site and you look around here near the top, I make this pretty easy for you. There's best products right there. Okay, you see CNET, COVID-19, best products, reviews, news, how-to, finance, health, smart home, cars, deals, download, 5G, and so forth. And then if you scroll here, you see various articles. Okay, and then down here is a whole list of news articles. Now this will literally change throughout the day. So you might take a look at this list of articles and come back 3, 4, 5 hours later and you got a lot of different ones. And they also put up here when they came up. So this one's just in, and I'm checking this at 1:17 in the morning. This one was 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, and so on. Okay, so if you scroll down, you'll see various articles, information. Some are general tech information, like, what's, coming out with 5G or something. Some are real specific, down to a specific product, okay, or list type of product or information or new technology coming out. So that's an important area of CNET, checking the news and information. But for number 1, you just have to do 5 categories under best products. So to do that, you go to best products. There's a little pull down menu. You click. Look at those categories. You just got to list 5 of them. Okay. So let's see. We got best headphones, best laptops, best phones, best routers. I'm skipping around here a little bit. Best TVs. Okay, so this is a great way to get some information. Now, of course, this is all the opinion of the CNET editors. So if I were in the market, say, for a television, I would look at CNET. I definitely would look up reviews and get some of their tips and make a list of some TVs to consider and different features and price ranges. I would also look at some other sites and try to find, if you see some of the same TVs coming up on the best list of 2, 3, 4 different fairly well-known tech sites, and it's probably a pretty darn good TV, So they got award winners, they got, a variety of things here. So this is just to get you a little feel of what is around CNET. Now I'm going to skip over. This one got 5 categories under reviews. There's reviews right there. Very similar type of thing. And then we got 5 categories under news. And there's news right there. So you can look up just categories of news. They got games. They got internet. Got Apple. Got Microsoft. Got security. Got 5G. Tech industry. Mobile. Okay. And I'm going to jump up to number 5. Find a news article on CNET, read the article, and put the name of the article and a 4 or 5 sentence summary of the article below. Summary is like, what is the article about in your own words? You get right to the point. What is this about? What's it talking about? Maybe include a couple highlights in there. Then copy and paste in the link to the article below the review. Okay, that's below your review. So I'm going to jump ahead here, pretend I did the other ones. And I'm going to do 5. And I got to find an article now on CNET. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just going to deselect that. Whoops, meant to deselect on CNET here. Okay, I'm going to, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to see if any of these articles look interesting. And there's an article might be about a specific product. It might be some general type stuff. Okay, here's about the lawsuit between Apple and Google versus Epic. Epic is the company that makes Fortnite. So that looks interesting. Now, in the interest of this tutorial, keeping it short, I'm not going to read the entire article right now, but I already have a pretty good idea what this is about. So, first of all, it says for number 5, find an article, read the article, put the name of the article and a 4 or 5 sentence summary. Now, the name of the article, I could literally do a copy and paste. Okay, I don't mind if you do that. So I literally, now that came in huge, so I'm going to edit this down to something more manageable like that. Okay, now I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. I don't want to just put it back to back. Yeah, I know it's an article. I know what the question was. You don't have to specify that. Now I'm just going to write a rough summary here real quick. Okay. The company that makes the popular video game Fortnite is suing Apple and Google because of the restrictions they put on their Fortnite game app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Okay, so in other words, if you make a video game, and I didn't actually read this article, I just been reading about this here. I'm purposely not reading the article so someone can't copy me word for word because this may not be accurate to this article. But I'm going to pretend it is, just to give you an example what to write about. So the main point is Fortnite is made by Epic, and they were mad about to put their game Fortnite in the Apple App Store, so it can go on Apple phones and tablets and so forth, or to put it in Google Play, which goes on Android phones. Both Apple and Google take a chunk of their revenue. It's like 30%. So, and also, I guess in Fortnite, you can purchase more stuff when you're in the game, and Apple and Google take a chunk of that too. So if somebody's in the app and they want to buy, I don't know what they have, more levels, more features, whatever it may be, they have to pay for it. And they're trying to sue them, saying it's unfair restriction under the way laws are written. And of course, Apple and Google say it's not unfair, and it helps pay for their development of the software so that their games work good on their phones and their devices. So that would be getting right to the point. What's going on? So the main point is that. Now what I could do, and I'm not going to do it right here, I asked you to write 4 to 5 sentences. So what would go in the other sentences? You could write some examples from the article, the fact that they charge money to put the app in there. You can put examples of why Epic is upset about this. They're losing revenue even when people buy more stuff from the app. They think it's too high and it's unfair. You can put anything in there about what Apple or Google say, that they think it's fair. They think it helps pay for the development, and everyone else pays it. So they're not, everyone pays the same. And they may make some reference to the legal issues. Is it they call monopoly, where they don't have much competition. So you would just go through and put in some examples like that. And if you get 4 sentences down and you got one more to go and you're like, I'm not sure what to write, you can include some of your opinion in there. You could think, I think Epic is right. I think its prices are too high for Apple and Google for the app stores. Or you could say, hey, that Epic should pay that. They still make a lot of money. They wouldn't have such a big market and make so much money if it wasn't for Apple and Google having their phones and devices out there. So there are different opinions people could have. Or maybe your opinion is a little bit of both. Maybe you think both sides are, maybe not quite right or have a good point. So feel free to include some of your opinion in there too. Okay? So you would write that there for number 5. So some of these are more work and more to do, and some of these are a little bit easier. So part of this is to focus on reading. Part of this is to focus on writing, which is a really important skill. My best advice when you do something like a summary is get right to the main point first. What is this about? If you were to tell somebody in one sentence or 2 sentences what it's about, do that first. Then go into a little more detail or some examples, and then, in many cases you can include a little bit of your opinion or commentary in there also. So it's really not that hard. Give it some thought. Again, this is a kind of assignment if you want to read and then bounce back and forth and write a little bit and come back to it and read some more, and that might work good for you. So this was just to help you get started. Okay, and by high school, everyone should be able to do stuff like this. These are skills that are not advanced skills. This is skills you should have had in maybe 5th or 6th grade. But I just want to review that a little bit in case there's any misunderstanding. So without further ado, I'm going to close this out. And of course, when you're all done, you submit that. And I'm going to go back here. And that's the CNET assignment. So the purpose of it is to learn about the CNET website, learn a little bit about some tech news and where some tech information is, and to do a written assignment, do a good quality job, use Google Docs, which is one of the Google apps we're talking about this week, and submit that for your assignment. So good luck, and hopefully this tutorial helped you if you needed it.